Bumbaclat. Father's Day. Faja Day. Faja's Day special. 1-1 Redries. You know, my sisters. All my sisters. What's up? Suck your mother. No.
Yeah.
Wait.
She appropriate like Kelly.
No, is that? No,
You said no edit? I'm not gonna edit it. I'm gonna keep doing it.
We'll do it. Perfect.
A lot of things to be happy out there. A lot of reasons to be happy.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? Summer's coming.
Summer's here.
Oh, summer's here. Pardon me, sir. I'm still dressing like the winter time.
That's every day.
You feel me? The colors do not change.
I had a sweater on this morning.
Yeah, the fabrics don't change. Still heavy cotton. Heavy with the gilded shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome everybody to the Husband Crew Podcast. It's your girl Crissy.
It's your boy Ra.
Statham. You feel what I'm saying?
Welcome back. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, you feel me? You feel me? Put that GoldLink up, I apologize. What's going on, y'all?
Nothing. So how does it feel?
What you mean?
Do you guys feel like y'all get enough gratitude?
Well, I take care of my kid. I don't feel no different.
No, I'm saying, like, do you guys feel like you get enough gratitude on Father's Day versus Mother's Day?
It's the first one I can't choose, and I'm sure the restaurants is empty.
Big facts.
The restaurants are empty.
That's not true.
Very true.
So serious. The restaurants are
Let me
empty.
spit out my
You
gum.
think so?
I drove past them. I was there.
Mother's Day,
It was probably
no
too early. It was probably
Mother's Day, that's the worst day to travel anywhere on Mother's Day.
Yo, bro, you can't go nowhere. I always like shit was empty.
Everything shut down.
I was surprised how quick I got to Newark.
That's crazy.
Took me 20. Usually take me on average probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get to Newark. Took me 15. No traffic on the highway.
It probably took us 45 minutes to get here from Irvington.
Right.
You know what it is? I
think
think that everybody's trying to try like a different approach to this holiday. Because most of the time on Father's Day it do be packed. Like some people do, a lot of people go out actually on Father's Day. I think people trying a different approach. They're gonna stay at home, maybe cook dinner, make breakfast in the house.
Sure.
I know, but would you rather go out today?
Nah, I'm not a huge fan of not on holidays. I like to go out like on regular days. I don't usually go out on holidays.
I don't like going out no days. If you ask me. I stay in the house forever. Never come outside.
Good. I'm happy. So how does it feel to have your first Father's Day?
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, same day you get gifts. We shower you with gifts.
You got a gift?
Yeah, I got a gift. Yeah, I got a few gifts. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? That good brother over there got the boy a nice wrist piece.
Oh, this
you
is
feel what I'm saying?
nice.
Beautiful.
I actually love this
When you
color.
say nice, I feel like it's an understatement.
No, this
Beautiful,
is a really nice color.
You don't call a baby nice. When you see a baby, you're like, oh, he's nice, it's nice. A baby's beautiful, you feel me? Same to what?
Okay, it's beautiful.
Appreciate that, brother.
We get down.
That's really nice.
Got a nice little hat today, a little jersey today. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we
Socks
out
all the
there,
way.
You feel what I'm saying?
Now, don't get it messed up because I wear the LA hat that I'm an LA fan. Now, we lost the Red Sox all
Oh, now he
day.
just went out because of Nipsey. You gonna still
Big facts. And I had to go cop one that's specifically blue just for Nipsey.
Oh, yeah,
we
for
always
sure.
on that shit. We forever on Nipsey shit.
Don't never get shit misconstrued.
Oh, no, but don't trip. I got my own watch piece. I can cop for myself.
Look at that
It's
man.
nice too. Okay,
Heavy on the
beautiful. Sorry.
Heavy
Beautiful.
on the arm. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is really nice though. I like this.
It's
I love the colors.
Shit is beautiful.
You hear me?
See
I
how you
like the
got
colors.
See how let me see that? See how the blue and what is that, like a little
Rose gold?
Rose gold? See how it complements the skin?
It
You get me?
does.
You get what I'm saying?
Rose gold always
bronzy.
look nice
See how
on
it
brown
complements
skin.
the skin? Looks
Gold,
beautiful.
rose gold looks great on
It
skin.
makes his wrist stand out more. Makes his forearm stand out a little bit more.
I look stronger. You get me? I look stronger.
Right. You feel me? Yeah. So she's back from vacation, I know, last week.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to touch into that?
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit.
Oh, before we get into that, I'm sorry. I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're on Father's Day, does a deadbeat father exist?
Does a deadbeat father exist?
Yes.
I mean, if you're not a father, you're just not a father. Like, if you're not there, like, in that person's life, like, in your child's life, to contribute, I believe so.
How you feel about that?
It depends. It really depends. I don't want to just leave it at that because I know how you do me. Like, you'll ask me like a rhetorical question or some type of question, a trick question.
Nah, he got something to sleep. Don't worry about it.
He comes back and pull attack mode on me.
I got it. Don't take care of his kids. What do you call him?
We call him a deadbeat.
How you
I
feel
call
about
him
that?
nothing. He's nothing. You get me? He's nothing to me. I wouldn't necessarily say a deadbeat.
See, I don't think a deadbeat exists. I don't think a deadbeat parent exists. I'm gonna tell you why. So it took a while to think about some shit, and we're not just sitting here trying to come up with compelling, topics and shit like that make people go on the uproar. But I was thinking about it, and I thought about it for a while. I'm like, yo, how can a deadbeat parent exist when majority of the time, or probably like 99% of the time, it's the other party that's making the other person not be there.
Thank you.
You feel what I'm saying?
Thank you, my guy.
You said majority of the time?
99% of the time. 99% of the time, it's one party not allowing the other party to participate.
Yeah.
Even when it comes down to like, I know a guy, he wanted his kid. He wanted to spend time with his kid. The mom was like, no, you can't. You get what I'm saying? And then when you strip him spending time with his kids, and all you want is money, and you strip all types of parental rights from the other party.
Yeah.
It makes you like, oh, fuck it. Like, if I gotta go through, hoops
all
and
these
holes
hoops,
just to take care of the kid, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how. So I thought about it a little different. Like, yo, I don't think one exists because it's something. It's always hindering you from doing something.
So do you think do you think making that point changed the way you view your father?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's why my perspective changed
but actually,
for my father.
Actually, no. I'm gonna disagree with that. My mother didn't hinder my father from doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's what I was about to say.
It was just a point of just not wanting to.
Not wanting to.
You know what I'm saying? Just whatever the case is, just a point of not wanting to be there, pulling the need not to be there.
So that's what I was about to say. I actually know someone personally that is going through that kind of situation right now with their child and their child's father. Basically, they're not hindering them from seeing their child at all.
That you know of.
Well, that I know of. Let's say that I know of, right? I mean, I talk to them pretty often. They kind of like, confide in me about certain things or whatever. So I kind of, it's more fact than fiction. That's what I want to say. So basically, because he can't be with her, he don't want to be involved in her life or the child's life. And I personally feel like that he has a decision. He made his decision. You chose not to take care of your child because you want more from the mother. You want a relationship with the mother, and she doesn't want that.
The purpose of having a kid. What's the purpose of having a kid?
Have a family.
To have a family, right? Initially, that's what you start. I mean, you don't just go around having kids with anybody.
Right.
So your purpose of having a kid with somebody is to have a family.
Right.
Your purpose of getting married is to, even in the vows, for better or for worse, to make it thin, whatever the case may be. So whatever happened with them, you know what I'm saying, that she probably dropped it too soon, or I can't speak on it, I don't know. Whatever happened with them, you don't think he deserves that second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance?
Well, that's the thing.
To make things better? Because if he wants to be in this kid's life, and the only thing that's stopping him is from being with you, you know what I'm saying? Why deprive that kid from a great life?
Yeah, but they've tried working things out over and over again, but he keeps cheating. So, I mean, if you're a cheater, a serial cheater, like, I'm not going to want to be with you either as the mother.
He's black, right?
He black, fam. He black, fam. But he keeps cheating, So, I mean, as a woman, you're not going to want to, especially if you're raising a daughter, you know what I'm saying, or any child, male or female, you don't want to bring your kids up into a home that's broken like that, because you teaching your kid okay, that like that's okay. What daddy's doing is okay. What mommy's going through is okay. And I don't think that's something that she should put herself through just for him to step up as a father and be in his child's life. If you're going to be in your child's life, that's whether you're with the mother or not. You're going to attempt to be in his child's life. If he's not attempting at all, from my knowledge, he's not attempting at all. No reaching out, no coming to see, no call, no phone call, no nothing at all. Not even a text message.
From a metaphorical standpoint, so a kid with his mom and not seeing the other half there, you don't think that's a broken home symbolically?
Yeah, it can be. It can be, but it really
depends.
So. It depends on how you raise your child.
I don't.
It's not a full.
I don't believe that just because two parents are not in a home, it's a broken home. A broken home is when I think when you bash the other parent. You know, when it becomes a toxic environment. You know, I think that's when it becomes a broken home. I think
when your kid go to
because
school,
I think you can be two functional parents in different homes.
Yeah, but
very much
that's
functions it's a broken
No, I don't
home.
think it's a broken home.
So when I think of it, let me tell you, just a little bit. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not necessarily agree with this, but when your kid goes to school and he sees his friends' mom and dad drops them off, and then they go back home, and then they got their mom and dad live somewhere else. Psychologically, that plays on the kid's mind, and just from like I said, just from a perspective standpoint, that is a broken home.
Because I think there's still ways of doing that. Just because
the kid don't understand why certain things are going in place.
Exactly, because how I look at it is because let's say the father moved out, right, and the mom still is it's still home. I think that father can still play that part of dropping his kid off in the morning. I think that father can still be involved in those everyday things.
Is that considered home? Like when you think about the root word of it, is that considered home? It's not. It's two homes.
I think, yeah.
It's a broken home.
No, I think D has a point. It is kind of broken. If you think about it, because psychologically it does play on the kid's mind. They're growing up and they're thinking like, okay, well, I don't know if mommy and daddy's still together. I don't know what this is, but I don't know what's going on because they're not communicating with the child. Instead of trying to communicate with their child, they're trying to sugarcoat it and look like a one big happy family, in the public eye.
Yeah, because it's functional for you and because it's functional for you and the mom, doesn't mean it's necessarily functional for the kid. So
is it okay for somebody to remain in a place where they don't feel comfortable?
No. I don't.
Is it okay? Okay. Since it's Father's Day, I'm structured towards fathers.
Yeah.
So if a father is
this whole podcast is
dedicated to
masculinity.
Yeah, so I'm going to say because I feel like this point right here isn't always shared. What if a father is in a place where he isn't happy? Because I think in our reality, happiness plays a big part in the kid's life. Right, so if that kid see a father who's home every single day, who's moping around, dragging, just completely just out of it, but he see his dad go somewhere else and come back and be much more happy, be more productive, and more things like that. Is it okay for that father to stay in that unhappiness place, for him to see his father day to day, or go somewhere else?
I don't think a kid sees it from that perspective. I think a kid sees it from like a selfish. They have to rely on people. Right? Like, so a baby cries, and the baby's going to go to whoever's feeding him at that time. Because it's selfish, and you're going to rely on, you get what I'm saying, who's catering to him at that particular moment. Mm-hmm. So if it's two people living in a separate home, a kid don't care about, you know what I'm saying, you living at home and, you still coming there to pick him up from school. I don't think a kid cares about that. A kid cares about, like, why isn't my dad here with me right now at this moment? Why am I only sleeping with mommy? Why am I, you get what I'm saying, why am I sleeping with daddy too? Why isn't daddy here? I think those are the questions. I don't think they care about, the other shit. I think they just care, like I said, it's a selfish type of thing. So it's like, what are you doing for me now? Type of thing.
Yeah, I don't think kids don't fully understand emotions and stuff like that until they get older, like maybe in their teenage years or after that even, Kids, they're not going to think about like, oh, daddy's sad, why is daddy sad? Mm-hmm. They might say, daddy, are you okay? Yeah. Something like that, but they're not going to fully understand. Even if you try to explain to them, like, well, daddy's not happy with this or daddy's not happy with that, they're not going to fully understand where you're coming from.
Would you sacrifice your happiness for your kids' happiness? And I know it's rhetorical. So I already know what I'm saying.
I think you should. I think
I'm asking both of you guys.
I think personally, I think you should. And I think in a certain sense, you can be the best person that you can be if you're unhappy. I'm so I feel like don't get me wrong, I feel like I have seen a lot of people sacrifice a lot of different things, you know, and then the outcome is they're unhappy later on in life.
Yeah, I think
No. Don't get me wrong. Their kids in a is in a good place, and I think I sacrifice each and every day, you know. And I'm just playing devil's advocate too, but I'm just throwing it out there, you know. Like, what if sometimes you got to put yourself in a situation where you can't, like, you can have that kid closer to you as opposed to that other, you know. But I think you also can play both sides. I think I just feel like you have to be there for certain moments. I feel like what most people do is they separate themselves completely. Okay, cool. Yeah, I may just go come and pick them up. I'm not doing story time no more. Story time and all that is out of the window.
Can I intervene a little bit? You said something about you think that you feel like fathers have to be there for certain moments, right? Okay, and what are those certain moments? Like
no. They should be there for all moments.
Yeah, because
every single moment. No. Not me say, okay, well, graduation you need to be there. No, it needs to be for every month. End of the day, I'm there for my son for every month.
Yeah, but if you're in two different homes, you can't be there for every month.
Yeah, how are you going to be there for every moment?
Plus, we speaking from that standpoint, we also got to factor in real life standpoints. Like, you still got to work. You still got to get sleep. You get what I'm saying? You still got a house that you got to take care of. If you got another situation at home too, you still got to make sure that situation is healthy. So it's a lot of shit. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? The kid, you know, it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's a little weird, you know. It gets a little weird. So I don't think a deadbeat parent can exist. In my opinion, you know. I don't think so.
I disagree a little bit because I do think that deadbeat parents do exist. For the ones who just totally give up. The ones that give up, that don't sit there and fight.
Sometimes it's not an even fight.
Well, let me say.
Sometimes it's never an even fight when it comes to parenting.
Let me say this. Just like some women go super hard to get full custody of their children, men have the same right too.
Why do you think a person goes super hard? Plus, like, automatically, they're going to give the rights to the woman.
That's not true.
Yes, it's a landslide.
No, listen, that's not true. It depends on how you can defend your point.
Who is it up to?
It's up to a judge or the jury. I mean, you know, however that system works. You know?
So, yeah, it's going to be catered to, like, much like. And I hate that sometimes there's double standard. It's going to get catered to the woman, no matter how you put it. Unless mentally the mother's messed up or don't have anything going for, or it's not working, or you know, just a complete slob. Yeah, you'll probably.
If you can prove that you're a better fit as a parent for that child.
But if a person is going so hard and trying to get parental rights or trying to get full custody of the kid, you know, judge going to turn that down. And I'm under the pretense that if you're going so hard to try to get, you know, your kid full term, if you're going so hard, you got your shit in order. You got your priorities in order. So you're a better fit.
I feel like, okay, but as a man, if you've got your shit in order too, why can't you do the same? Why can't you go full-fledged as well? Go hard for your kid as well.
Even if you're a man, you got your shit in order, and she's a woman, you got your shit in order, you know what's going to happen? Hey, you can get the weekends. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not the best thing possible, but honestly, just to see that you went hard for your kid, and that's what the judge, you know. Listen, but to know that you did the very best to do whatever you can to be in your child's life.
Sometimes they don't work.
But to know for yourself.
But sometimes they don't work.
Listen, to know for yourself that you did the very best to be involved in your child's life, or to see your child, or to get that visitation, or whatever the case may be. You know that you tried everything that you can. Some men don't even try. Some just give up. They'd rather run from the situation and pretend that kid don't exist, or know that kid exists and still don't care. Because it's easier. But it's easier for them. But it's easier.
Even if you're trying to fight, even if you go to court.
I don't think it's always easy.
Exactly.
I don't think it's always easy.
If you go into court trying to fight for a kid, nobody's upset with the fact that you don't get it. Like, you're not okay with the fact that you did everything. No. it's still your child.
Of course, you're still going to be upset. But what I'm saying is that you know deep down that you did everything that you can.
That's not enough, though. That's not enough.
Of course, it's not enough. I'm not saying that it's enough. I'm not saying that that should end right there and that's what you just take it and just walk away like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at least you know that you tried. That you tried your very best. Like you actually put forth the effort. You went to court. You tried. You tried all these things. But there are some men, some fathers who are not trying at all.
And that's why I didn't specifically go into deadbeat father. That's why I said deadbeat parent. A deadbeat parent can't exist. It can't exist. There's always one side that's hindering the other side from doing something.
That's not necessarily true.
I can name you 30 cases right now.
I can name you a couple of people too.
I can name you 30 cases right now.
I don't have 30, but I can name you a couple that literally the father don't.
Just give me one instance.
Because they don't want to be.
Let me go down the list. I wouldn't say friend. Somebody I was cool with, right? Probably 10 years ago. 11 years ago, somebody I was probably cool with. He had kids. He had twins with this girl. And the girl was very toxic. You know what I'm saying? Very toxic to the point where she didn't want to, she would, fight him in front of the kids and do all this stuff in front of the kids. Keep in mind, this dude don't have the greatest of intellect. He's not the smartest person, you know what I'm saying? But he just didn't want to be a part of it. She would threaten to get her brothers and shit like that to beat him up anytime she seen them. He had his kids in the parking lot. This man was afraid to go see his kids? Kids was in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. He was afraid to go see his kids because of the threat she put in his life. It wasn't the fact that I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, bro, like, why you don't go see your kids? Can't. But after finding out the reason why he can't go see his kids, it's fucked up. But people don't. But I'm saying, but outside looking in, you don't see that shit. You don't see that.
Of course.
He put a threat in his life, and if you see a nigga that don't take care of his kids.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot deeper than that. And I'm sure if you bring up every situation, it's a lot deeper than surface.
Of course.
It's a lot deeper than just, this person just someone that's his kids. It's a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper.
I agree with that. There are a lot of situations and a lot of circumstances where those things are going on behind closed doors. No, I do believe that there are deadbeat fathers out there. You have your point. I agree with the point that you are making about the ones that you believe are not deadbeats because they have a reason behind as to why they can't be involved in their child's life because of the toxicity that they are.
I haven't met not one person that just don't take care of their kids.
I have.
Not one. I have. You met one.
I met actually a couple.
Can you tell us about it?
A couple.
Can you tell us about it?
I met a couple.
Who are these people? Can you tell us? You break down the situation. It can't be because the person don't want to be with. Come on, stop it.
I'm serious. It's literally these are the situations because the person does not want to be with them.
That's cap.
It's no cap. I'm telling you, it's no cap.
I know how to smell cap. I know how to smell cap.
It's no cap.
Come on, stop.
It's no cap. I'm telling you. There are a lot, especially a lot of people that I'm cool with. Like these girls are going through these situations.
Oh, you cool with them?
Yeah.
Already coming from a biased standpoint.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't think I'm being biased. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, there are deadbeat fathers.
What's the facts?
With the facts that I was given. The facts that I was given.
From one side, from one party.
From one party. Yes, from one party. But honestly,
that's unfair.
Because his story.
How's that unfair?
Because his story is exactly.
Okay.
No, but that's true. I don't feel like that's true.
Being someone who's cheating on someone and like, why would a woman stay with you?
I'm sure he was cheating before the kid.
Okay, but why would a woman stay with you?
She's weaponizing that kid. That's all it is.
Women, but she's not. But they're not using the kid against this man.
These parents weaponize kids. They use it. They have babies with people thinking it's going to keep the person. You know what I'm saying? They have babies and then they keep the person away from this person, thinking it's going to make the person do something. They weaponize kids.
Kept from him.
They weaponize kids.
The baby's not
being kept from him. Every situation you can bring up. They weaponize
not being
kids.
Kept from him. The baby's
People
not being kept.
I kid you not. I heard it was a lady. She had a story I was told. A lady. She had a husband, but they had a baby. They got married. You know what I'm saying? Her relationship was on the brink of falling, or brink of marriage. I mean, brink of getting a divorce. Mm-hmm. They had another baby, and she figured she knew about it too. She knew about it. Like she was pregnant, and she felt like if she kept that baby, it was going to keep her marriage together. So she kept the baby. They got a divorce right after that. So these people make certain decisions, you know what I'm saying, based off of, you know,
Emotion.
what they think is gonna,
what they think is gonna save
beneficial for
them.
themselves.
So that's weaponizing the kid, using the kid as a weapon.
Well, I don't know the full story, like you said. You know, like I said, it is from one side of the story. I don't know him like that to get his side. It's not my business, honestly. But looking at the situation from the outside in, it's pretty typical.
I got a kid now. I'm just speaking on how I feel as a parent. It's nothing that would possibly make me stop wanting to be in my kid's life. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. I can't think of anything that would stop me from being in my kid's life. Besides the fact that somebody would try to, you know, do something or like threaten my life or something like that for me not to see my kid. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, take my kid away and go to somewhere else. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I
can't do that.
Huh?
You can't take your kid.
People try.
I think you can.
Shit done happened many times.
Yeah, but
men have been fighting that fight for years. Men have been fighting that fight for years. And I think,
agree.
So, like I said, sometimes those battles are won before they even put into play.
Even back to like even the relationship thing, right? And I was listening to Joe Budden podcast, and immediately he said him and Santana broke up, right? Mm-hmm. So immediately I'm like, damn, what the fuck did he do? Why are we conditioned to think that the man always did something? That's in every situation. If Jay-Z and Beyonce, what the fuck did Jay-Z do to make them? And that's every situation. Every situation. The first thing you point at is what the man did to break up that situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to Santana and Joe Budden's relationship, watching them even on Love and Hip Hop, I already knew that their relationship wasn't going to last. I kind of already had a feeling that it wasn't going to last because their arguments were like extreme for no apparent reason.
I wouldn't say that.
And no,
it wasn't extreme.
The arguments they had,
what was it?
That like they had one
99%
argument.
of the arguments he had over sex. All the arguments happened over sex because he didn't want to have sex.
No, it wasn't. No,
that was a storyline.
But that's not the one.
Because he didn't want to fuck his girlfriend.
Well, no, that's not what I was going to say.
Storyline,
they have another situation where they were arguing about her. You know, she's young. She's younger than me, right? She's like, what, 22, 23? Something like that?
She's 26, I believe.
26? Okay, around my age. Okay. She was out. They were on vacation or whatever, and she was out, and I think she was like dancing or whatever, and he got upset by that because he felt like, well, you know, you're a mother, you shouldn't be, you know, twerking and doing all this.
Yeah, don't just say dancing. That's a separate genre. Twerking is a separate genre. Don't tell. Come on. Like,
okay.
Stop. It wasn't.
No. I'm not taking her side. Just hear me out. I'm not taking her side.
Being biased now. Come on.
I'm not being biased because I never took anyone's side. All I'm saying is this is the situation that occurred. Yeah. Anyway, they got into an argument. She got completely upset. It was like, oh, I'm not an effing child. Don't talk to me like that. Blah 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 blah. You know, just went completely nuts. He was upset, but he was more quiet than she was. She was like talking about it to everybody on the island and everything, and it became a whole situation that I personally feel like she didn't have to do all that. You should have just admitted, like, okay, I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have been twerking and doing all this, that, and the third. You know, that was a little inappropriate of me. You know, next time I know that I wouldn't do something like this again. I apologize. That's all it could have been. It could have been a simple conversation. But no, instead of it being a conversation like that or whatever, you know, it was a huge argument for no apparent reason.
So when they broke up, who did you thought was in the wrong?
Honestly, I didn't know that they
broke up. What broke up? Who you thought broke them up?
I don't know. I think that their lack of communication is what broke them up.
Who do you think ended it?
I don't know. I swear on my life, I didn't even think too much into it.
I don't know the situation.
I didn't look too much into it.
I don't know who his girlfriend is, but like I said, we're just conditioned to think that the male did something wrong. Because when you told me the situation, I would automatically thought that Joe did something.
Automatically, you conditioned to think the man is, you know, in the wrong. That's in every situation. Even with the Wendy Williams and her husband shit. Even though he was doing some foul shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man was on the beach.
My man was doing some foul shit. But still,
beach with a 12-year-old.
But
she looked young. I'm just saying. That's not facts. That was not facts.
Okay. Anyway, but I don't agree with that. You can. Well, most people do assume that it is always the man's fault. I don't think of it like that because I've been in a relationship for going on 7 years now, and I know that I'm never innocent. So, I mean, you can't be biased when you look at everybody's situation. So with her and Joe, I don't think it was his fault. Let me show you.
Well, I'm angry right now. I'm just still get back on them. How y'all feel about Lil Durk in this situation? You know, I'm sure y'all familiar with it.
The murder.
He was involved with it wasn't a murder. So somebody got shot.
Yeah, on May 30th, he was charged with attempted murder for a shooting that occurred in Atlanta. That happened back in February. The man actually survived, but this past Friday it was reported that in front of the court there's a videotape of Lil Durk actually shooting, allegedly shooting.
Yeah.
Because of course we haven't seen the tape, so we don't know what's actually transpired.
I heard they flew in.
Oh yeah, but I say, if you think that's bad enough, the niggas really flew in a Chicago gang unit detective that testified that Durk was a part of the Black Disciples.
What?
And on top of that, it's another guy that's involved in the crime, it's another dude that's involved in the crime too. King Von. Y'all familiar with him?
No.
I know his story, I'm not too familiar with his music. He just came home from beating 2 murders. He just came home from beating 2 murders.
Why are you involved with so
Here it is, this multi-fucking millionaire, still hanging around savages, bro.
Change your fucking
What
environment.
the fuck is wrong with these? You just beat 2 murders. You shouldn't be around no guns at all.
Like what?
No, I'm complaining. Durk shouldn't be around him anyway. Nigga, just stay away from these people.
Why do niggas want to keep it hood or keep it street?
Because niggas want to keep it real.
Feel like
niggas want to be real. And I think if you're not real unless you got real niggas around you, and I think that's what people think.
Bro, this nigga just beat 2 murders.
It's all for clout.
He just beat 2 murders, bro. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not with them. I don't think it's clout with them. I think the realization is
these
like
niggas are really in the streets.
Yeah, they're really still in the streets.
But
that's the problem.
If you're a multi-millionaire and you want to hang around these people still, you don't really need to be in the streets.
But their career is built off that.
And I get it. I get it, right? One of his other artists, because he has a record label, you know, independent record label. One of his artists just got murdered a couple years ago. What is it, OTF Newski or some shit like that? Was murdered in Chicago. You're supposed to get rich and get away from all the bullshit.
Niggas get rich and bring it back to
You just a rich nigga with still with bullshit. The system is not playing with these niggas, bro.
And they should notice that.
What the fuck is?
You see what happened to 6ix9ine?
I was just about to say that.
And I mean, people even before them. You know, people have been going to trial for different things all the time, as far as guns and things like that. Just stay the fuck away from it. You got too much money. You got too much money.
And you got too much to lose.
I don't know who the young man was that got shot. But he's testifying. He's working. You shouldn't testify. No, I'm testifying. Fuck you mean? He just tried to kill me. I'm testifying. Put that nigga, lock him away. Lock him the fuck away. What the fuck is wrong with these niggas, bro?
Niggas stayed up some ratchet Julie ass nigga.
Yo, get this fucking heathen off of the streets, bro.
I'll take PC for 500, please.
Yo, these niggas, bro. These niggas are fucking
Oh.
savages, bro. These niggas are. They just hood niggas. Yo, I'm under the impression that hood niggas just don't want to do better. You don't want to do better.
No, I don't think.
Bro, he was around.
I think like
he got his. I wouldn't say he got his start. He had his own little buzz. Then French Montana tried to have a little situation with him. You know what I'm saying? French Montana on fucking yachts, helping niggas in Africa with fucking power, and this nigga running around with fucking dumb niggas that's just shooting, bro. That shit don't mix. No wonder French don't want you around no more. Because you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot, bro. A fucking idiot. What's wrong with these niggas, bro?
What I think they don't define success themselves. They allow the streets to define their success. So in order for them to be successful in their hood, they got to do that type of shit. I think. I think they always. I was saying for their hood. Yeah, it's like I gotta show you what I got. I gotta bring you and shit, bro. Like yo, I'm be honest. Some people you can't save. You can't save certain people, bro.
You can't save
in different ways. Okay, cool. If I am gonna try to save, I'm gonna put you in a different place. Let's move you out of the hood. This nigga, he's from the same hood.
They moved him out of the hood.
Evidently, some ways ain't changed. I won't have him with me all the
Just
time.
because you take people from the hood don't mean you take the hood out of people. It's true. You can't. expect that, okay, just because one person, you know, you move from, let's say, Irvington or North up to freaking White House, that you want to be different. Like, you're going to be different.
Change
no.
Sometimes.
Your perspective can change, but some people not.
Okay,
some people don't, because they're so stuck on stupid and still stuck on that mentality.
But that's a percentage of people, though. That's a percentage of people, too.
I mean, you can speak for everybody, but...
I think we can't generalize that and say that nobody will change, because I know many people that have done change environments that have changed the whole time. Of course,
but you also got to change the people that you're around. Like you said.
Yeah, very true. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you got to take this person and somewhere else.
Because if you sitting around low lives or people who not trying to advance themselves in life, you're not going to get far.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, alright, so that's what I mean. Then that goes back to say, like, Durk and them still in the streets. Because if Durk and them wasn't still in the streets, that incident would have never occurred and nobody would ever got shot.
Alright, let's dig a little deep into this shit, right? The nigga just came home from being 2 bodies. I think he did 6 years in prison, something like that. He did time in prison. He just came home last year or the year before last. So it wasn't like a person that was still in the hood doing this stupid shit. He was locked up. Once he came home, Durk put him on. He had interviews at the Breakfast Club, this and that. So it seemed like Durk was trying to do the right thing, right? But how does it get to a point where you're doing a drive-by shooting at somebody? Like, that don't make sense to me. Somebody make sense of that for me. It don't make sense.
Doing stupid shit.
How do you put yourself in situations like that?
Doing stupid shit.
I think it's more mental than anything, right? I think it's pride
it's
shit.
Influence.
I think it's pride
those
shit
people that he around. It's the people he around.
I think it's pride thing. Like I said, I feel like people are caught in this never-ending rotation of just trying to prove themselves. You know, it's like they just want to show people.
I can't agree with that. Because he's the high man. Niggas is trying to get to what you got. Niggas look for him for shit. His crew is looking to him for shit. Who are you putting yourself to? Yes.
Are they though? If they care about him that much and they want to get to where he at, why would you put your friend in a predicament where he's now facing charges for attempted murder and stuff? Why would you put him in a situation where y'all involved in a drive-by and he's in the car with you, shooting at someone allegedly?
He was shooting.
But why would you?
But that's what changes the story. He was doing the shooting.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If his friends cared that much, they could have talked to Monty.
You think Floyd bodyguards can tell him what to do? You think anybody in Floyd's life can tell? You think anybody in Kanye's life besides Kim can tell him what to do? Let's be real.
But
he's the high man. It's what he say goes.
Okay, but if these people are your friends, you have some type of respect for them, right?
Listen, that's besides the point. You can't tell a nigga that's worth a couple million. I don't know his net worth. But a nigga that's has $1 million and you have $20 in the bank, you can't tell that person what to do.
You can't tell him what to do, but if you want to go, honestly, if I was that person that had the $20 and he got the $1 million, I'm not gonna go with you. I'm not gonna go with you. I'm not going.
That's your CEO.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because if I just got out of prison, why would I incriminate myself again? Why would I want to incriminate myself?
That's why I said it's a deeper issue than just doing certain shit.
I don't have the hood mentality like them, so I really wouldn't understand. But I don't know. That to me is that's wild. That's wild. And
he was doing the shooting. And then even when I'm looking at the court pictures, King Von, did he have an attorney? Who the fuck is his attorney? I only seen one person in there. You think he's gonna defend both of y'all? No. It's conflicting interest, right?
Well, it all depends if they was going against each other, yeah, but no.
Well, no, I think even if
he could represent both.
One lawyer can represent two
people?
Two suspects?
I'll fact check.
I don't know.
I don't think so, because even in the case with the Central Park 5, they all had to have their own attorneys. They all had to have their own representation.
Yeah, I don't think that, I'm looking at him like, yo, you don't have an attorney. He's sitting there looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro. And I hope this shit ain't true. But if you got a nigga on, if you got, it's not looking good. You got video footage. You done flew a nigga in. You know what I'm saying? And the person survived. It's looking bad. It's looking bad. It ain't looking too good. Ain't looking too good at all.
Yeah, I believe that you have to have your own.
He just released some music too, right? Like he was getting back on his. I think he was getting back on his grind. I think he had took some time off, and he said it was the label's fault. You know, I think he signed to Def Jam. For like last year when he brought King Kong up there when he was promoting his stuff. And I think he was saying how like the label was. He can't blame the label. He got to take responsibility himself. So for a nigga to sit up there and to have that type of, you know, to have that type of intellect and to be so positive about a situation like that, how the fuck do you go to shooting a nigga? With all of this to risk? And he got kids. He got like 6 kids. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's different. That ain't no influence. That's some other shit.
He must have been real angry.
Nah, that's some other shit.
He must have been real angry at somebody. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because when you factor in all that information, then it really doesn't make sense.
He set up there and said you can't blame the label. You can blame he blamed himself and blah. It's not. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. He blamed everything on the label. He blamed everything on the label, I believe. I could be wrong. Whatever the case may be, but it's pretty mature. Out of everybody inside that little drill music clique, you know what I'm saying? You would think he would be the smartest one. To me. You know, just was saying the way he moved and shit like that, he wasn't involved in no bullshit. I could not.
Coming up,
name me one thing that Durk was involved in. Durk was involved in no bullshit at all.
That we know of course.
But it would be brought to light when they're on the rounds like that. Chief Keef was involved in some bullshit. G Herbo was involved in bullshit back then too, and even currently, Fredo, God bless his soul. You know, just all of these niggas, Lil Reese hitting female, all these niggas is involved in some shit except for Durk. Except for Durk. And I remember we just seen him in a concert. We just seen him in a concert, I think Gunna brought him out. He was performing a song or something like that. My guy cool, they giving him a look. Now he's about to go on a run. He released music to follow up with it. And he's about to go on a run. So when I say run, not running from the police, but he's about to go on a, you know.
Like a tour or something?
Well, just music run. Like he's about to, drag this shit out. Like that's a look for him. You want one of the #1 tours right now. You know what I'm saying? You want one of the #1 artists right now. Like you about to drag this shit out, and that's how people usually move. You know what I'm saying? They take your shine and leave that shit on with theirs. But, it's just weird to see how everything played out. And it's so sad, man. Then you bring in a gang. So now they're going to attack some, that's what I'm saying. So now if you bringing in somebody to, testify that he's a gang member, it has to be some gang shit. You know what I'm saying? It has to be some gang shit. So that's an even deeper conversation. Like, because now you got to bring in, after Gangs of Disciples and everything, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that was only some Chicago shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was only some Chicago shit. But incident took place in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But all these niggas record that and shit. It's ugly, bro. Like,
I don't know.
It's sad.
It's crazy.
It's sad.
Okay, so to go back to that point about attorney representing both people, they can, but it's not recommended.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, you shouldn't. It's not a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get both of you off the hook, bro. And
one of you niggas gotta go.
Somebody going.
And unfortunately, it probably be old boy.
And I don't know because the way they making a mockery out of these niggas that got a big name for themselves. They making a mockery out of these niggas. You feel what I'm saying? Then on top of that, just think about this. Right? Lil Durk, I'm sure he probably don't own his masters or anything like that because all these young niggas in 360 deals probably don't own shit. You know what I'm saying? So when unfortunate situations happen like this, where whether a nigga get murdered or a nigga get locked up and do some time, guess what happens? The music spikes. You start to get streams. Since you're in jail, you don't own your masters, who do you think gets paid? The record labels. You know what I'm saying?
They get money from back in anyway.
Yeah, so they would want to lock him up. You know what I'm saying? It's a sick fucking system. They would want to lock him up and knock the other nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's fuck it. We get a 2-for-1. We'll take both of these niggas.
Yeah.
I'm sure King Von, if he signed to Durk, and then Durk is signed to say, yeah, we get none of that shit. It's a 2-for-1. It's a good deal. It's like a big night, bro. You know what I'm saying? They got the 2-for-4.
It's a good day.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad, bro. That's crazy. Prayers to all parties involved. I don't want to come across like insensitive. But prayers to all parties involved. That's some sick shit, man. And that's fucked up. If it is true, like, I'm disappointed in Durk. Who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? This is a podcast. But I'm disappointed, man. One of the niggas that had it going. You know what I'm saying? That had it going. And, seemingly was changing niggas' lives and let niggas' lives and shit.
I'm sure he's thinking about it now. Like,
it's too late. It's over. It's over.
At this point, very much over.
Who else you got in the document?
Nah, I think your boy, what's the name right now? You heard about your boy Chris Brown? Supposedly this week his IG was hacked, right? So he went on Victor Cruz's page, who's now his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, Karuchi.
New Jersey stand up.
For sure. He went on the page and started commenting under like Victor Cruz's picture. His first comment was like just like a whole bunch of emojis. The second comment he made was in quotes, "No shade, boo. Please style him," in caps.
Well,
he looked like he shot supposed to be off the mannequin and trying to bargain with the sales manager. Retired wrestler Spanx. I'm fucking around. Good bless. Supposed to be God bless.
He even spelled style wrong on that too. I don't know if you put that.
He also spelled a mannequin wrong too.
Yeah.
But supposedly this never happened. He was hacked. He never did this. Somebody else did this. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, she's a Chris Brown correspondent. You wanna speak on his behalf?
I love you, Chris Brown.
I love you.
Love you. Anyway, you did that shit.
That nigga did that shit.
He did that shit. I'm gonna be real with you. He did that shit. Chris Brown always on Instagram posting.
Sun was high as hell.
Chris Brown, you always,
yo,
you stay posting up stuff, bro. Let's
liking
be real.
Shit,
you always liking, commenting. You always trolling somebody. Let's be real.
Chris Brown did that shit.
Well, first of all, I can tell you exactly how this night went. He got one of the #1 records right now.
Oh no, pause. What time did this start? When it happened? You said how this happened.
I don't know about
Let's tell me the storyline, but tell me a story on how this happened.
I'm gonna tell you how it happened. They got the one of the. I could probably speak on that. I'm not speaking prematurely.
I'm gonna complain.
One song right now.
I'm gonna be honest. I did play that song, and that song was really fire. I listened to it about 10 times.
Drake. Yeah, I like it.
They got the #1 song right. They got the #1 song right now. He's feeling himself. He done made amends with Drake. They got a fire ass record. You know what I'm saying? He got an album coming out. He's feeling himself right now. Guess what? Let me call the Coke man through. I need more of that good that shit I had. You know
back that truck up.
Yeah, that shit that I had in the club, I need more of that. Come through. You feel what I'm saying? Come through. The label probably dropped an advance on him for the album. Yeah, come through. I got something for that. You know what I'm saying? Him in a party, with a bunch of women.
Whole bunch of hits.
Just doing what they doing best, you know what I'm saying?
And
he happened to get on Instagram probably. You know what I'm saying? Not to live or anything like that.
Not somebody talking to him about it.
Well, he probably not even that. He probably got on Instagram, right? Let me see what the heat is on the album. And the first thing he sees, you know what I'm saying, is the Victor Cruz shit. Because obviously you follow Victor Cruz. You can't follow what's name.
Cruz blocked. Yeah, for sure.
So he following Victor Cruz, creeping this shit. So he probably picked it up. You know how when you pick up your phone, that's the first thing you see? You know what I'm saying?
Shit turns your stomach.
Shit turns your stomach. He probably oh yeah? Well, he can't even dress. That nigga cannot trust. Let me go in on this nigga right quick. I know you can't trust. You get what I'm saying?
She with this lame right now.
You see me?
Lame. I'm
Trump just backed up that work.
I got my own clothing line.
I know what you want to.
You feel what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna complain. He ain't the most stylish person in the world.
Bro, I got this Gucci robe on right now with cocaine on my chest. Niggas not fly. That's rich fly niggas.
Baby oil.
You feel what I'm saying? This nigga need a stylist. Let me tell him about himself. You feel what I'm saying?
Because he was that shit, bro.
Stop the drugs, bro.
Stop it.
Yo, people need to. That's why he can't. That's why he's supposed to be the biggest artist right now, bro. And I know that shit kills him when he sees Rihanna #1. You know what I'm saying? #1. What? #1 grossing music. Female music artist
ever.
That shit turns your stomach. All these women that you used to deal with, you know what I'm saying? Super successful now. Doing very good in life. And your shit is continuing to go downhill. At some point, you got to take ownership.
It's going downhill because of the drugs, man. Leave the drugs alone.
But I can't keep saying that because that's an easy play right now.
I just really think that the people that's around him, he got a whole bunch of yes men. I think he got a whole bunch of yes men around him. I think there's a whole bunch of yes men around him, and they don't tell him no. And granted, he is the head of the dragon, but you must have somebody that can be like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, bro. The shit you doing ain't cool. This shit is unacceptable, bro. And not just that, it's fucking up your fan base, it's fucking up your career. You gotta stop this shit. That's what I said. It go back to having those people in your corner. And I don't think he really got those people in his corner.
Right.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. So he needs some better people in his corner right now. Cause that shit right there, bro, you're a grown ass man. You gotta stop this shit. You gotta stop this shit.
Hey, guess what?
There was no reason for him
guess
to
what, sis?
Well, guess what? Yeah, sis.
Fool. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. Cut this bullshit out.
Sound more like a female to me than a male.
Right,
bro.
you ain't have to do all
I'm
that.
fucking around. God bless, bro. Stop it. What you gonna put God in there, bro? That's why that's when you fucked up. Once you put God in there,
And
they don't want no parts of that, bro.
And then had the audacity to post, oh, you know, I got hacked.
Niggas.
How you gonna say you was fucking around, but now you got hacked?
I'ma come clean. It's 2019. We ain't for that shit no more, bro. We ain't for that shit no more. We ain't about
that
nah,
easy
bro. We ain't for
anymore
that,
to hack your account.
We not for that.
Crissy ain't fucked that up.
What?
He said, yo.
You went on a 3-day rent?
Nigga said he fucked Nicki Minaj in the Eiffel Tower and some shit like that.
Yo, shit was crazy.
His current wife now was sucking his dick on the train to Paris. Like, it was just wild.
Yeah, shit was ridiculous.
You know, him and Waka Flocka used to fuck back in the day. Like, he was saying some wild shit.
Him and Waka Flocka used to what?
Go back and look at the tweets.
Shit.
Google
that shit.
Then he said somebody tweeted. Then he said somebody hacked him and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But now I believe that. You don't believe that?
He said he off the drugs too.
He definitely was.
But him and Waka Flocka actually doing it?
Ask that man. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't really see that coming from Waka.
Think so?
I don't really see that coming
okay.
from Waka.
These men out here getting their booty ate. You talking about? What's it?
Cut
it out!
You ever heard of Booty Warrior?
Booty Warrior? No.
You never heard of Booty Warrior?
You haven't?
That's crazy.
What's Booty Warrior?
Listen, booty is more important than war. It's more important than air.
Nigga in jail, he like man booty. You know what I'm saying?
A man's butt.
That's the most important thing. That nigga said they side thinking it's cool, but we think it's sexy. You know what I'm saying? So he fucked guards too. He fucked a couple guards. Like, Booty Warrior. Yeah, they did the episode about him on Boondocks, right? Nigga, real.
This shit really happened. Literally, you can type it on Boondocks. You might find that on
YouTube too. You go to YouTube, type in Booty Warrior. These niggas out here bugs.
Shit is crazy. I'm sure that. What's his name? What is his name?
Chris Hansen. I don't know if that's him.
No. Chris Hansen was another person that he's talking about. And he said, you call him Chris Hansen, we call him Chris Hansen.
Niggas bug. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like these niggas, they give all types of shit. You know what I'm saying?
More on a lighter note though, I would like to tell y'all about my adventures in Mexico. Okay, it was really nice.
It's okay.
It was really nice. We actually went to a wedding there, and it was beautiful. You know, they did like a little all-white boat party the next day. It was real nice. You know, just for the family. It was cool. It was for like 5 hours. It was real nice. Everybody was turned up. Everybody was lit. Honestly, they couldn't have picked a better guest list to attend the wedding and the festivities because it was lit.
Something wrong with my computer, I think. I ain't get no damn invite.
Oh, well, I was
that's what I'm saying.
So, but it was lit, definitely.
You know the people too?
Huh?
No. I was about to say there's only one nigga from the podcast.
No,
it was actually Fidel's family, so. But it was really lit. Other than that, we did a few excursions. Little speedboat. I actually drove it, and I got stuck in the middle of that lagoon.
Let me drive a boat.
My hands, please come help me, because I was freaking scared. I thought the boat was gonna flip over, and I was terrified. It was scary.
And my boy Fidel was in it like, swim out! You stuck, you gotta swim out!
Nah.
We both can die. Somebody gotta tell a story.
I was driving the speedboat by myself, and I was in the other one with his brother. They were small.
Smart man.
Not big people. They were small.
My boy Fidel made a good decision. What you
When the worst drop is, bro. That's
he made a smart decision.
Oh God. Anyway, other than that, we also I think the next day after that, it was like last Monday just passed. We did zip lining, we did ATVs, we did something called canote or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. CNOTE. It's basically like a cave, right, that you go into, and the cave is filled with fresh water from the rain.
I like
and it's super beautiful. Super beautiful.
Y'all take a picture? I need to see those pictures.
No, I didn't take a picture, but I'm sure they have some on Google. But it is beautiful. The only terrible part about it is the fact that we have to swim through it, and it's 25 feet deep. So if you can't know, but if you can't swim,
that's fish stadium right there. Don't worry about nothing. He a backstroke across the whole thing. I promise.
That would be
great. I know that.
That would be great for you.
We're in the middle of going snorkeling. He takes off his whole equipment and just dive in. Bro, what the fuck?
Really?
Swear to God, shit was crazy.
I'm aquatic, very aquatic.
Wow. Okay. I can swim,
I'm telling you.
but
a
lot of people, it was a scary experience at first because that was the deepest amount of water that I've ever swum in personally. So like to just know, like mentally it was messing with me, but I had to calm down to like, okay, all right, Christina, come on, you can do this. Go, just.
What's his name again?
CNOTE. Yeah.
What?
Not that I know.
How you gonna say that again? It was real subtle. It wasn't loud. It was just. If you ain't paying attention, you ain't catch it.
No.
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar from there, right?
I don't know.
Pablo Escobar from there?
What, Mexico?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. A lot of it out there, probably.
Yeah.
A lot of it out there. You only trust?
Yeah, I believe so. But
Huh?
No, I'm good.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it's real nice, and we had a really good time. We definitely had a really good time. The last couple of days we were there, I believe like the last 2 to 3 days we were there. We just chilled. You know, they had a lot of parties and stuff on the resort, so it was pretty cool. You know, I know Fernando went to a foam party there.
What?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
A foam party.
I fuck around and slip my big bag.
Yeah, a foam party, like bubbles.
Everybody on the phone. Oh, no, that's regular. That's a club right there.
No, it was cool, but it was really nice. Definitely enjoyed myself. But it was one day we actually went to the mall outside of the resort, right? Yeah, they had a nice big mall. It had like all the high-end stores there.
You told me that Gucci wasn't you.
I was
No.
Mexico?
Yeah, it was really nice. I had a really good time. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm sorry.
Terrible. I had a really good time in Mexico. You know, we did a lot of excursions. Initially went out there for a wedding. It was beautiful. Amazing guest list. Everybody was
turned. The same people and he didn't get the invite.
Listen, it wasn't my people. It wasn't my family. I didn't know these people at all.
All I'm saying is when y'all wedding come through, just invite your boy.
No, you
I'm
ain't
just
coming.
saying.
Anyway,
come through with the
he is not
all black
invited.
suit on.
Wearing all black?
With some gold shoes on. You tripping.
What, you going to a funeral?
Gold shoes on.
You wearing a funeral? You going to a funeral?
Hey, it's I be sometimes.
Wow.
The death of that man's bachelor. My man tying a knot, you know. It's always good. No. It's always good to see people, tying that knot.
Terrible. But it was really nice. We did a lot of, like I said, we did a lot of excursions. You
want to talk about the Mexican dude, the Henna?
Oh, you just want me to jump straight to the point?
Huh?
He wants you to get into it.
Oh, you want me to just get straight to the point?
Oh, no. I feel like that was a compelling story that we got to tell people. But, no. Finish. I'm sorry. Finish.
No, because I thought you wanted me to start all over. So I was just like...
No, it's finished.
That's how it be sometime, though, man.
Yeah, so, I met this dude at the mall I went to, actually.
Crazy.
Huh?
You got... Never mind.
Because I met a dude at the mall.
I
met this dude.
Your favorite thing to do.
What?
Canario.
Can we pause this? Pause this. Stop it. Just stop.
Keep recording.
No, stop it.
No, you do that.
He just got on my nerves just now. No, we need to stop this. You just trying to piss me off, bruh. Yo, he just pissed me off, bruh. Anyway.
She was like, what? He was mad confused at first. She's like, wait, what's going on? He said,
He ain't just confused you.
He confused you. I understood what he was saying, though. All he wanted you to give the Henna story.
I know what he said. You had to talk about the whole
I think we got the beginning of it.
Yeah,
it was 29 minutes.
We wasting minutes. Let's go. All right. Come on. Yeah, so I went to this mall outside of the resort, actually, and, we just went to just chill. So I walk in, I see this henna booth, so I'm like, okay, well, cool, I want to get a henna. So picked the one out, and, $25 American dollars, even though I know in peso that's a lot of money. But
they charge you $25 for henna.
Yes, American dollars for henna. That was a lot of pesos. We ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just, I let them live. Either way, of course they ripped me off, but it's cool. It is what it is. I let them have it. It's cool. So we there, and I'm talking to the guy that gave me my henna or whatever, and I'm just asking him questions. I'm like, hey, you ever travel? You want to travel? Like, what you want to do? So he was like, I want to go to America, but it's really hard. I have family out there. I have an uncle that's out there, a legal uncle. It's on the run and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, your president, he makes it so hard for us, like, for Mexicans to get into America. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, what's the process? So he was telling me that in order to get a visa, you have to wait a month just to do the application. And then once you do the application, you have to take 2 interviews. 2 exams, I'm sorry. One is a written exam and one is like an interview, right?
So a visa so you can go to a country and live there, right? Because I know it's 2 different visas. You have like a work visa and you have like a regular visa for.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his purpose was.
Let me see. What's the purpose of a visa? You know what? You pull it up. Because that you gonna pull it up?
Okay.
Yeah, because that could also be.
So the purpose
different.
of a visa?
Yeah. It sounds ignorant, but that could also be the reason. If you traveling to a country just to visit a country versus then getting a visa to live in the country, it's a completely different thing. I'm sure if it was opposite, if you were trying to go to Mexico, I'm sure it'd be the same process.
Just a passport and that's it?
Well, no, not to just live there. You have to file for a bunch of different shit if you're trying to live there.
No. Basically, all it is a travel visa is an official document that temporarily authorizes you to be in the country you are visiting.
Yeah, it's just for them to visit.
Your travel
visa.
What's
a work visa?
For them to work in that country while they're visiting.
And how long is the duration of the visit? Because you mean to tell me
I think they can stay for like, I think it's like, I want to say 6 months. Don't quote me. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like 3 to 6 months or something like that. But,
this is weird.
And I could be completely wrong. I just want to know because
I think it's more so like if you have a job over there,
but
right? So it's a period of time in which you have a job there. Like for instance,
if you don't have a job, though.
Yeah,
if you get a visa, even if you don't. Have
but it'd just be a travel visa. It would just be a travel visa.
What's the duration of it? Because I know you can travel because they get passports. You get passports in Mexico too. So I want to know if you get you can't just travel with a passport to a different country. I mean, to America.
I don't think it works like that for them.
Interesting.
I don't think it works like that for them. But he also, wait. Here's the more fucked up part about it. If they fail one of the exams, either the written or the interview, they have to do the process all over again.
1 year.
Yeah.
That changes everything. You would have to, if you wanted a visa for a different country, if you want to do it, they would put you through the same process too.
I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah.
You have to. For 1 year.
Yeah, but even to come to America for them to visit, they have to have a visa.
I disagree with. I don't think so. I think you should have a passport and then find.
No.
Like what's
he said that also you also have to have at least $1,000 in an account as well.
See, I don't.
Well, I'm be honest. You paid towards that because your $25 is worth $485 over there.
Right.
So you pay this visa. Don't worry about nothing.
That's different. We started talking visas and passports. It's a little different. So my phone ain't gonna cut you off.
No, but he was saying that if you fail one part of the exam, you have to do it over again. And that means another $1,000 or whatever it costs, right? Mm-hmm. Another $1,000 that you have to have. Then you also have to wait 3 years in order for you to be able to apply for another visa. I said, wow, that's crazy. No wonder, it's so hard for them to come over and they getting in boats and doing underground things like, whatever way they
niggas started at 18 and don't get here until they about 36.
You know what I'm saying? But that, you see, this is why they're going to the extent that they're going to come to America because it's so hard for them to get into it legally.
They come into America because they're fleeing their current situation.
Yeah, but they don't know how easy it is, how hard it is. I mean, in America, it's not easy.
It's a lot better than this situation, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure there's more perks.
Everything over there.
Because, and plus, like, it's the American dream. They sell you. America does a great job of selling you the American dream.
Right.
So if you're selling people the American dream and advertising the American dream, people would automatically assume that it's great over here.
It's great over here.
I'm a black male, so I can't speak on if it's great over here for other people or not. I know people come over here. Immigrants come over here, they got businesses and everything. I can't speak on that, and I don't know if that's 100% true.
I was actually speaking to one of my friends the other day. She's a nurse right now, but she's from Nigeria, and when she said I was actually telling her about the situation, and she was like, "Yeah, it's crazy." She was like, America does sell this outlook like, it's the best thing in the world, but when you actually get here, it's hard. So she was saying that when she came here, she went to school and all that, whatever, and she finally got her job as a nurse. She was saying it's much harder than everybody perceives it to be. It's so hard to live in America, but when you're in another country, you're looking at it like, wow, like you see people on TV with the money and the cars and the and the nice looking people and all this stuff, but when you actually get here, life is different. Life is not like that. It really takes a lot for you to get to that point and to be actually living comfortably. And she's a nurse saying this, like an RN. Like I'm sure she's making good money, but it's still, when you're making money, you still gotta pay bills regardless. But either way, that's just her perspective of it. And my dad's from another country too. Even for him coming here, it wasn't easy for him either to come here and start a whole life. My father had to, he came here, had to get a green card. He married my mom. They had some kids together, and the whole shebang, whatever happened, from there.
You think that process of going to a different country is wrong?
Going to a different country is wrong?
I don't think it's wrong. With that process?
No, I don't. I feel like they're gonna do whatever they can to make sure the security of their country is good. This is what's necessary. I feel like they should have those precautions because you don't want to just let anybody into the country and it could be a terrorist or anything. You have to have these certain precautions. Waiting 3 years for another one to apply for another visa, I feel like that's a little extreme.
That's where I think we're misled. Why? Just speaking. I don't think this shit has anything to do with the security of the country.
You don't think so?
Fuck no.
Why?
Population control.
I don't think it has anything to do with...
Yeah, I believe it's population control too.
I don't think it has anything
it has to be.
It's just us extorting other countries. That's
for
what
money?
it is. Yes, that's what it's always about. It's us extort... Let me give you a quick...
They extort us for money too.
I don't want to...
No one does it as best as the U.S.
I'm telling you, you're right. You could be right.
No one does it.
But when I went to Mexico, I'm telling you right now, everybody named Mama want to tip for any little thing they do.
Because they're hustlers.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're hustlers.
But that's like extortion, low-key extortion.
They know you got the money. They know you
but
got
that's low-key extortion.
It's not.
It's not though.
That is. Because why do I have to give you a tip just because you picked up a paddle and handed it to me?
You should.
They know we have it a lot better than they do.
They talk about
no matter how you want to sugarcoat it, we have a lot better than they. We have it a lot greater than they do. Period. All across the board. We have a lot greater than they do. I never
sugarcoated that.
So if if they do work and they know you got money, of course you want to get paid for it. It's a tip at the end of the day. So it's something that you can voluntarily give. It's not something that's mandatory. So it's still up to the individuals. I don't think that's extorting. Extorting is like, if you don't give me this, then I'll... You
ain't doing this.
I'll do... You know what I'm saying? That's extorting.
Like, for instance, Trump saying, "Oh well, if you don't build my wall, I'm gonna tax you."
Like I said,
if you don't control your people come over the border, I'm gonna tax you.
Yeah, this shit is all about money. It's not about security. You can easily fly
over. It's about money.
You can easily fly into this country. You can fly into this country. You can fly.
Okay.
Niggas can get their license and fly a plane into the country. It's different. It has nothing to do with fucking security.
I'm sure there's some type of air control that
just
doesn't allow them to just fly into the country.
If it's not on the radio, yeah, they could possibly shoot it down, but you got to go through certain precautions to shoot something down. But my point exactly.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just that simple. You could just fly into the country.
You could.
No, you trust me. They will pick up on it.
That's what you're saying. Yeah, it's radar. Yeah, you can shoot it
down. You have to go
down.
through so many precautions on what's the incident happened just last week where a guy was flying to New York. And I forget what happened. I think he was flying a helicopter or a small plane, charter plane or something. He was flying to New York and he flew over the Trump Towers. And this day, I think it was raining, it was really foggy, and he said he couldn't use it. They could be able to see, like, I think it was like 300 feet. 300 yards in front of them. He was only able to see like 10 yards, something like that, and he ended up crashing. So they say he ended up crashing, but you got to get permission in order to fly over like the Trump Towers or anything like that. I guess because that's something to do with the president, you got to get permission. But he wasn't on the radar. He wasn't on the radar at all. He wasn't on the radar. So he was trying to figure out what the fuck was he doing up there. Like, why was he?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they probably shot him down. I think they shot him down. I think he crashed into a building. But I go to you can get a plane, you can drive over there. It's not you can control.
That's risky.
You can control the ground.
It's risky, of course, but
very
listen,
risky.
you can control the ground, but you can't control it.
No, the waters.
Period. You know what I'm saying? But even with the like we were talking about America being the bank, I was watching the game, right? I was watching the game, the NBA game, the finals. But I was watching what do you call it? I was watching it on stream. So I don't have an account with, what was it, ABC, right? I don't have an account with them. So I was trying to illegally stream what's the name? And the only place I could illegally stream it from was like this betting website, which happens to be somebody connected in Canada. So somebody that was connected in Canada was actually streaming it, and I was able to see it. So not only was I able to see the game, which is a really good game and stuff like that, but they have the their own sports cast that comments on the games and also the commercials. And I found the commercials very interesting. When you visit a different country, the last thing we do is watch TV and watch the commercials and see how that's a big deal. So I think in one commercial they said it was a lady. They had a lady she was in a wheelchair. She was being pushed into the hospital. So they have all these nurses and stuff behind her trying to help her out. You know what I'm saying? They all champion behind her. They pushing her in there trying to get some work done. And they had this guy in a suit that was standing right in front of the room that she was supposed to go into, and they stopped. And the commercial stopped right there, and it said, if you don't want Americanized healthcare, get this person out, because I think they're going through elections. So if you don't want Americanized healthcare, where your money dictates the type of treatment you'll get, then vote this person out. So that in itself is crazy. Even how they market to people over there is crazy. America is a fucking bank. They trying to sell you stuff all day long, every commercial.
Yep.
They selling you shit, trying to sell you shit. Over there, watching commercials completely different. Completely different. They're not telling you anything that you should do. Oh, if you want to look beautiful, you need to buy this makeup. They're not saying any of that shit. And that was crazy to me. I'm looking, I'm like, yo, this is weird. That's so weird. That's so weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when it comes down, I don't think this shit is about security. Like, come on. That's what they want. They want you to be misled. It's not. It's nowhere.
You're right.
This shit is about money.
It's about money. It's about security. It's about population control. It's about all of that. I mean, honestly speaking, it's never going to change. It's just going to get worse. Like, that's all it's going to be.
What's going to get worse?
This whole process of trying to get into America and being here when you're from a different country.
A couple years ago, you could drive
Latina countries.
That's the thing. They want to say us. Like, that's the thing about it. They say a couple years ago, I think it was we were trying to go on a road trip somewhere.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, right? So before that, so I'm gonna add on another probably
year.
3 years to it.
Yeah, so it's like 2011, 12.
Yeah.
11, 12. That's when they started to do the little band thing.
Me and him was we was gonna take a road trip to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
3 of us was gonna take a road trip to Canada, right? So he was like, all right. So he was like, all right, cool, let's take this road trip to Canada, blah blah blah. This and that.
2011, graduated.
So we was like, we'll take a road trip. We'll take a road trip to Canada. You know what I'm saying? But little do we know, you got to get permission to go into Canada. It ain't like you're just gonna drive over and you know what I'm saying, they've been to Canada. So it's not just America got these insane laws where.
No, I'm sure it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's period. It's all about money. And when you think about it, it's even deeper than that. It's almost like how you control slaves too. A slave couldn't. If you was caught without a slip in your hand from your master,
you're sent back.
You'll be sent back, or you'll be fucked up.
You know,
and it's the same way. Listen, you can't get out of the country. That's the thing about it. It's like freedom. You can't get out of this country or you can't do anything unless you got certain paperwork and documents stating certain things. So
you know what's crazy?
Has nothing. That's why it's so funny when people say that. It's nothing to do with security.
Like, you know what's crazy too? My friend that I was talking to, that I was just telling you guys about, she, like I said, she's from Nigeria. So her and her husband went back there, and you know, when it was time for them to come back home, going through customs, she was telling me it was like the worst customs that she ever had to go through, because literally they bribe you for money in order, like the security there, their former TSA or whatever, bribes you for money in order for you to get through security. She said this is prior to her. That's even
exchange.
No, she said prior to her
to this flight.
Prior to her even getting into the actual airport to get to security or to even check in her bags or anything like that, they have people outside of the security outside of the airport checking your bags. So she's asking the guy, "Why are you checking my bag? I didn't even go inside the airport yet." He's like, "Oh, we have to check your bag. Oh, you being irate? Step to the side. We're gonna check your bag." And she's like, you know, she know how her country is, so she said, you know, all they want is probably steal their stuff, like take the stuff, keep it for themselves, or take whatever money. She said, honestly, you can take whatever you want out of there, but I'm gonna miss my flight. Let me go. So the guy, you know, he was giving her a hard time, and she ended up checking in, and she left the bag there with her husband, you know, to tend to. Finally, you know, her husband was like, you know, well, we're not giving you no money. We're not giving you money. If you see something in the bag, you want it, just take it, whatever. So they ended up going through security and everything. They had the same problem. Literally, they have to bribe. Like, why do I have to give you money for you to check my bag when you get an hourly pay? Like, that don't make sense. Or whatever you.
We don't know what's going on. I mean, that's the way the country's structured.
But yeah, so that's what she was saying. She was like, they have the worst customs ever. Like, it's the worst. Like, that to me is insane, bro. I didn't even get in the airport yet, and you checking my bag.
It's insane because you're American, and you're so used to the American way.
Yeah, but she's from there.
Huh?
She's from there.
So if you know what this is about, why you have an issue with it?
What?
So the thing is, like we talked about earlier,
because it's
not
normal
to you.
But that's not.
So if you grew up in a place, of course it's irate to us because we see they don't do shit like that in America. At least, you know, covert.
Exactly.
I mean, at least overt. They don't do that shit to you. Covert. They'll probably do it to you some type of way. They fucking you, but they're not doing it just blatantly in your face. So if you're from a different country, you know the rules and everything that they abide by. So why is that an issue? You should be used to it already.
It's not okay. Maybe because she came to America and things are different.
And that's the thing about
it.
So
not even that. She's from Nigeria.
That's the thing of it's so much shit going on in Africa right now, and niggas want to talk about getting into a fucking country with customs. Are you kidding me? Like, it's complete genocide in some of these countries, and you talking to me about getting into a fucking country.
I mean, we talk about Sudan right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, stop it, man. It's like that people.
Prayers out to everybody over there.
People need to stop this bullshit. Like, for real. Like, that's insane.
But I don't see anything wrong with what she was telling me. She was just telling me.
But what I'm saying is, it's like, it's bigger issues than that in Africa that we got to deal with.
Of course.
Than somebody, you know, complaining about, what's the name? Like, a fucking.
It wasn't like a complaint. It was more so like her just saying, like, you know, because I was telling her about customs.
But she know what this is about, though. That's what I'm saying. She's from how long ago was she been there?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So she was born there, but then came there.
She was born there, lived there for a while, for years, and I don't know exactly how long. I'm not sure, but I know she came here to school and stuff.
It's so weird to me. It's like, I don't know. But people got this issue with America. Like, yeah, we know America's fucked up, and you know it's a bank at the end of the day.
But it's not just America.
Countries are.
But it's not just America. There's other countries too. Like, there's many other countries that's the same way.
But it's many different countries that don't have the same laws that we got.
Of course not.
So
but
it's
like, other countries might have
have
more strict laws than America does.
Absolutely. You ever heard of what's the name? Dubai.
That's what I was gonna. I actually was thinking about that when I said that.
But niggas don't complain. You got to do what you got to do. If you want to come here and visit our country, you got to abide by rules. If not, get the fuck out.
And that's fine.
Like, and that's what America is doing pretty much. I don't agree with the bullshit, but it's like it's extortion in a sense. It's money. Everything. It all comes down to money. Even with Sudan, I think because whoever's in control of that, it's probably not paying America at a certain point. Of course, America ain't gonna step in.
Well, they're talking about stepping in now.
Yeah, they're talking about stepping in.
Just talking. I don't know if they're taking action, but they're talking.
It's some profit in there somewhere somehow.
If it's a profit, they'll be there.
Exactly. If it ain't no profit, they ain't over there.
Ain't nothing happening.
They ain't touching none on Africa. Either y'all gonna give up some gold or something, or what? But other than that, they're not going there for free.
It's so funny. This shit. I mean, it's not funny, but this shit been going on for quite some time, bro. Like since 2003. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Darfur, Sudan, like all of these countries, bro. It's fucked up. Like we talking about complete genocide, like trying to wipe out. That's why it's like, yo, when I was wearing that hat with the rainbow on it, fighting for equality of all people, like it's certain countries and other countries that's going through like complete extermination of a race or people that believe in, you know, a certain religious belief. Mm-hmm. They trying to get rid of these people. They call them like race, you know, extermination, like kill them off at whatever cost. That's where the genocide shit comes into play, right? You know, but in America they just do it a little bit different.
That's worse than a Holocaust.
It's the same shit.
I thought about to say that's exactly that is the Holocaust.
It's like but it's not just you killing off someone like a race. Like you're killing off people because of their beliefs too.
Yeah. I mean, but that always been that was the Holocaust.
Well, because of what they believed. Because they were Jewish. They were Jewish.
Yeah.
It was a list of things.
Jewish.
It was a list of things why they was in it, you know. But to each his own when it comes to it.
It's the same shit. Like this stuff been going on for a long time, and that's why like when people complain about, that's why I get offended when people complain about stuff that's that small. It's like people are not fortunate for you to come from a third world. For you to come from a third world country and to come over here and be doing pretty damn well for yourself to take trips back and forth, and to become a nurse or like these authority figures like that, you have no say.
You don't know what everybody's life is like though. Just because she came in here and bettered herself with a good opportunity, that doesn't mean that, you know, she's like basically saying, oh well, I'm being what's the word I'm looking for? I'm complaining about, you know, customs, you know, coming back and forth. It's not about that. It's the fact that she knows that it wasn't right. When you know something is right and when you know something is not right, come on. If you, let's say you from another country, right? And you live in America and you go back to your country, you already know that your people are going to want stuff, right? So you bring stuff for your people or whatever, but now it's time for you to leave the country. You get stuff from your country to bring back home. Like whether it's a type of food that you know that you might like or whatever, or fruit or anything to bring back home, you got to deal with at the airport from the workers stealing, like wanting to get money from you or stealing your stuff out of your bag because you came over to visit your family. It's not like she wasn't giving back. Like if you giving back to your family and to your culture or whatever, like why are you being why are you being harassed when you get to the airport before you even enter the airport? We know what's right and what's wrong. Either way, it will put a ill taste in your mouth to have to deal with something like that, no matter what country you go to.
See, and this is my issue. You come from when she was a young girl living in Nigeria. She didn't give a fuck about customs. He was worried about clean water. You know what I'm saying? If you was a poor girl, you worried about clean water, clothes, electricity. These are the shit that you should be worried with. Pretty much fundamental things to progress in human life. Mm-hmm. Fundamental things to progress in human life. So for you to make it up out that situation, come to America, go to school, become a nurse, do pretty good for yourself, move up a class, you know what I'm saying? And then you complain about customs. It's a classism thing. It's a lot. Yes, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem because honestly speaking, you're not in touch with what's going on. You know niggas don't got clean water.
That's understandable. That is all understandable. But how can you sit here and get mad at somebody because of the experience that they went through that was unpleasant? It was unpleasant.
The circumstances she grew up in was unpleasant.
Okay. And because she made it out, she's supposed to. But just because she made it out, she's supposed to.
Had dirty water.
Yeah, I don't think everybody had dirty water. Like you thinking of it like the poorest of poor of Africa.
No. That's what's going on.
Yes, that's going on. That's going on everywhere though. That's going on in America.
Absolutely.
That's going on in America. But you think
no, we're talking about a person that she left the country for what?
I don't know.
People leave a situation to better something. If you got it great over here, I'm not coming over here. You get what I'm saying? It don't make sense. People leave a situation to better and further something. You didn't come over here because you thought America was bad. I'm sure she's not living the same type of life she was living in Africa. Impossible. You can't fucking sit here and tell me that. Impossible.
I'm not telling you anything.
She left because you left because you're in a bad situation and you wanted to make something great out of it. Point blank period. People in other countries, they in fucked up situations, they want to come to America to do better for themselves. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So she was once again, you in these third world countries, you was able to make it up out of there. Go to school. People aspire to do shit that you're doing.
Okay.
The dude that was doing your henna, he aspired to do shit as great as that. You know what I'm saying? But for you to come over here and do just that and make a better living for yourself and to further a class.
Right.
To further a class. And then you want to talk to me about now the issue since you're
me and her were having a conversation about customs.
Since it's so funny how shit happens, how shit changed. Since you're in a different class now, no longer are you talking about people don't have clean clothes or electricity. And how can you further this? And that shit is still going on. You can't tell me it's not.
You're right, D. But how can
we just read an article.
You're right, D.
You're right, D. Rihanna's not even from Sudan, and she's posting shit about there. But you got these people that's from Africa that's not posting shit about it.
What can they do to help if they're in a bad situation too? How do you know that they're not there? How do you not know? I'm not saying people. She's more American. She's more in America. She lives in America, so she's a citizen. Yeah, she's more Americanized now. I don't know if she's out of touch. That's not. I don't know.
Complaining about how
Listen, let me talk. You can't sit here and say that people in Africa are not doing whatever they can for the other people in people in Sudan. That is what you said.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying.
But also, you can't sit here and tell me. No, you can't sit here and tell me that my friend or any other person that's similar to her situation goes back to her country and don't care about what's going on there. You can't say that. I never once said don't care. I never once said people from Africa it's not doing nothing for their time. But I said you said that they're not posting.
When you leave, well, of course, that's what I'm saying. The conversation changed. When you're from a situation and you leave that situation, your conversations change.
But how do you know that they're not actually taking action? Just because people not posting on social media doesn't mean that they're not taking action.
She didn't post about customs on social media, but she talked to you about it.
We were having a conversation about customs. I was telling her about my experience going through customs for the first time, and she was telling me about the worst experience that she experienced going through customs.
That's the worst experience in your life that you experienced?
That's the worst experience that she experienced.
In customs.
While she was traveling.
So I think
that's the worst experience that she experienced. But look,
I think it was situation based. It was more of so like a situation like type of thing. It was more so like, all right, like what happened with you, in Rite Aid type thing. Oh yeah, my worst situation in Rite Aid. I think that's what it was. We
were having a conversation about customs. Yeah, I mentioned to her, I was like, oh my God, it's my first time going out the country. Going through customs was a headache.
That's what I said to her. I ain't been out the country yet.
That's what I said to her. It was a headache. That's what I said. I said I didn't like it. She was like, she's traveled to different places, She's blessed and fortunate enough to travel to different places. So Nigeria and America is not the only two places that she traveled back and forth to. No, but you said
how she knows how her country is. You said that.
Yes.
You said she knows how her country is. So why is that an issue if you know how your country is?
What?
Why are you complaining if you know how your country is?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she knows how her country is or not. That's like saying, oh, I know how America is, blah, blah, blah. And when the guy talking to me, the Mexican guy talking to me, I'm like, oh, well, that's how America is. Like, why would I sit there and say that to somebody? Why would I say that to someone?
If I'm going to Walmart in Kearney, I'm already prepared for one. So I know how the Walmart in Kearney is. I'm not going to sit there and complain about the lines, and I know how this shit is.
It's not about her more so complaining. It was the fact that she was just giving me her personal experience of what she felt was her worst experience going through customs.